Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 12 motorcycles that will be banned in 2026. Number 12, BMW X4. The BMW X4 costs around $56,000 in 2025 and will not return after this model year. BMW confirmed that production will end by mid-2025, effectively removing it from showrooms by 2026. The main reason behind its discontinuation is weak sales. The X4 never reached the sales numbers of its sibling, the X3, and BMW decided it wasn't profitable enough to keep both models alive. Another reason is BMW's transition to electric platforms. The company is redirecting its manufacturing capacity toward EVs, leaving no room for another gas-powered coupe-style SUV. Reliability for the BMW X4 has been rated around average. It scores about 8 out of 10 from major studies and has an estimated lifespan of roughly 152,000 miles, which equals around 14 years of use. Only about 19% of these vehicles reach 200,000 miles, which means maintenance quality heavily affects longevity. Another factor behind the model's end is rising compliance pressure. The X4's internal combustion setup struggles to meet stricter emission rules coming into effect by 2026, especially in states like California where zero-emission sales targets are tightening. In short, the BMW X4 is stylish, well-built, and offers a refined drive, but its declining sales, rising ownership costs, and emission challenges sealed its fate. Number 11, Nissan Armada. The Nissan Armada, priced around $55,000, is another full-size SUV on its way out by 2026. The main reason behind its discontinuation is Nissan's decision to replace it with an all-new electric SUV. The company has already announced plans to move away from large V8 engines that fail to meet upcoming emission and efficiency standards. The current Armada's 5.6-liter V8 engine, while powerful, is no longer practical under the stricter emission and fuel economy rules rolling out across multiple states. Sales numbers have also been sliding. Over the last few years, Armada sales have dropped well below its rivals. That decline, combined with rising manufacturing costs, has made it difficult for Nissan to justify continued production. The next-generation replacement is expected to use a smaller turbocharged six-cylinder or an all-electric powertrain, marking the end of the classic gas-powered Armada. In terms of reliability, the Armada performs fairly well for its size. By 2026, Nissan's shift toward electric and hybrid models will phase out older gas-heavy vehicles like the Armada. It's durable and comfortable, but its outdated powertrain and falling demand have made it one of the last of its kind before Nissan transitions to cleaner and more efficient SUVs. Number 10, Ford Expedition. The Ford Expedition, priced around $57,000 in 2025, is set to be discontinued after this generation, with production likely ending before 2026. Ford has already confirmed a major lineup shift toward hybrid and electric SUVs, leaving the V6-powered Expedition without a long-term future. The main reason behind its discontinuation is regulatory pressure tied to emissions and fuel efficiency. Large body-on-frame SUVs like the Expedition are becoming harder to justify as federal and state rules push manufacturers toward greener fleets. Another major factor is cost. The average 5-year ownership cost for the Expedition sits above $85,000, including maintenance, depreciation, and insurance. While the Expedition is known for good comfort and strong build quality, it's also one of Ford's least efficient models to maintain. The decision to phase out the Expedition also stems from Ford's plan to simplify production at key plants and make room for larger electric SUVs. With the company's electric three-row models on the horizon, the Expedition's size and emissions footprint no longer fit into Ford's future strategy. After 2025, the model will quietly leave the lineup, marking the end of one of Ford's longest-running traditional SUVs. Number 9, Cadillac XT4. The Cadillac XT4, priced at around $36,000 in 2025, will be discontinued by 2026 as part of General Motors' restructuring plan focused on electrification. The compact luxury SUV segment has become overcrowded, and Cadillac is redirecting investment toward its electric line, including the Lyriq and upcoming Optic models. The XT4's platform, shared with several GM vehicles, is outdated and doesn't meet the new emission and technology standards that GM is adopting for future products. Sales numbers have also declined since its launch peak. In recent years, Cadillac has sold less than 25,000 units annually in the United States, which is not enough to sustain production costs. The company confirmed that as it transitions to a fully electric lineup by 2030, models like the XT4 that rely on older combustion platforms will be phased out. Another factor contributing to its end is competition. Rivals from Lexus, BMW, and Acura offer more efficient engines, better resale value, and stronger reliability ratings. By 2026, Cadillac will officially shift production toward electric crossovers, leaving the XT4 behind. Number 8. Jeep Grand Wagoneer. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer, priced around $91,000 in 2025, is on the chopping block before 2026. Stellantis has been tightening its lineup to meet strict emission rules, and the Grand Wagoneer's massive 6.4-liter V8 is one of the biggest offenders. Despite its luxury branding, the model has struggled to justify its existence in a tightening market focused on efficiency and electrification. Sales have fallen short of expectations since launch. In 2024, Jeep sold fewer than 12,000 units of the Grand Wagoneer, less than half the target. The combination of poor fuel efficiency, high maintenance costs, and heavy depreciation has made it hard to compete against established luxury SUVs like the Cadillac Escalade and Lincoln Navigator. Stellantis executives have already hinted that the Grand Wagoneer will not survive past 2025, as the brand transitions toward plug-in and fully electric SUVs built on the STLA frame platform. Re-engineering the big V8 to comply with upcoming 2026 EPA limits would cost more than developing a cleaner powertrain, so Jeep is choosing to discontinue the model altogether. The Grand Wagoneer's short production run will likely end by late 2025. It entered the market promising to challenge high-end luxury SUVs, but instead became a reminder of how quickly the industry is shifting. Number 7. Lincoln Corsair. The Lincoln Corsair's time is officially running out. Priced at around $41,000 in 2025, this compact luxury SUV will be dropped from production before 2026. Lincoln has confirmed that the Corsair won't return for another generation, as the company moves its focus entirely toward electric vehicles. The model's weak sales performance and outdated platform sealed its fate long before its official exit. One of the biggest reasons behind its discontinuation is regulation. The Corsair's gasoline engine doesn't meet the stricter emissions standards taking effect in 2026, and retooling it for compliance would cost more than Lincoln is willing to spend on a fading segment. Instead, Lincoln is redirecting its investment to electric replacements like the Aviator EV and a new midsize crossover that will use Ford's next-gen EV platform. The Corsair's market position has also been a problem. Sales have dropped below 20,000 units per year, far behind competitors like the Lexus NX and BMW X3. With profits shrinking and demand slipping, Lincoln decided to pull the plug rather than spend money updating a model that's no longer delivering returns. Ownership costs haven't helped either. Over 5 years, the Corsair averages around $72,000 in total cost, including depreciation and maintenance, which is higher than most compact luxury SUVs. By 2026, the Corsair will be gone from dealerships. Its exit marks the end of Lincoln's smallest gas-powered SUV, closing another chapter in the brand's shift toward an all-electric future. Number 6. Chevrolet Blazer. The Chevrolet Blazer, priced around $36,000 in 2025, is heading for discontinuation by 2026. Chevrolet has already confirmed major changes to its SUV lineup, and the gas-powered Blazer won't survive the transition. The company is focusing on the Blazer EV, which officially replaces the current model as part of GM's full move toward electric production. The decision is driven by emission targets and declining sales of traditional midsize SUVs. The Blazer once stood out for its bold design and sporty feel, but it never reached the sales levels GM expected. Annual numbers have dropped below 50,000 units, and production costs have continued to rise. The internal combustion version doesn't align with GM's zero-emission goal, and retooling the model to meet upcoming 2026 standards would be too expensive. As a result, the factory producing the Blazer will switch entirely to EV models next year. Another major factor is pricing pressure. The Blazer's ownership cost averages around $70,000 over 5 years, including depreciation, maintenance, and insurance. For a midsize SUV, that's a tough value case when electric alternatives in the same lineup promise lower long-term costs. By 2026, the gas-powered Chevrolet Blazer will be gone. It's being phased out not because it failed mechanically, but because it no longer fits where the brand is headed. Number 5. GMC Yukon. The GMC Yukon, priced around $60,000 in 2025, is nearing the end of its production run as GMC prepares to replace it with an electric version. The model will be phased out before 2026, mainly due to tightening emission regulations and the company's aggressive transition toward electrification. The Yukon's large V8 engine, long praised for power and towing, has become a liability under stricter fuel and emission standards that go into effect soon. GMC's parent company, General Motors, has made it clear that by the end of the decade it will sell only zero-emission vehicles. Another key factor behind the Yukon's exit is cost. Its 5-year ownership expense can exceed $90,000 when including depreciation, insurance, and maintenance. The V8 engine's upkeep and repair costs are high, and buyers are gradually turning to hybrid or electric SUVs that offer lower running costs and tax incentives. Despite its strong image and loyal following, sales of the Yukon have flattened and the demand for gas-powered full-size SUVs continues to drop. By 2026, the current Yukon will roll off the line for the last time, ending an era of big, traditional GMC SUVs built around size and power. Number 4. Jeep Wrangler. The Jeep Wrangler, priced around $34,000 in 2025, faces the end of its gas-powered run by 2026. Jeep confirmed that stricter emission laws and its own shift toward electrification will phase out the traditional Wrangler models. The brand's focus is now on the Wrangler 4Z Hybrid and a fully electric version set to replace the gasoline line. This move is part of Stellantis' plan to make its North American lineup 100% electric by the end of the decade. The main reason for the Wrangler's discontinuation is regulation. The standard gasoline variants struggle to meet tightening carbon dioxide and noise standards that take effect across multiple states in 2026. Sales numbers have also begun to cool. After peaking earlier in the decade, Wrangler sales have slipped below 150,000 units per year. Buyers are shifting toward hybrid or electric options, and Jeep's own 4Z plug-in hybrid is now outselling the traditional gas trims in several markets. By 2026, the iconic gas-powered Wrangler will disappear from showrooms. It won't vanish entirely, but it will return in a new electric form, marking the end of a long chapter for one of America's most recognizable off-road SUVs. Number 3. Cadillac XT6. The Cadillac XT6, priced around $49,000 in 2025, will be discontinued before 2026 as part of Cadillac's plan to move fully into electric production. With annual sales dipping below 25,000 units, General Motors has decided to retire the model and shift focus to the Lyriq and other upcoming electric SUVs. The biggest reason behind the XT6's end is the brand's electrification strategy. GM confirmed that all Cadillac vehicles will be electric by 2030, and the XT6's current gasoline platform cannot be converted cost-effectively to meet that goal. Stricter emission regulations starting in 2026 also make its 3.6-liter V6 engine a liability, as it struggles to comply without major redesign costs. Sales performance has been another issue. Despite offering a sleek design and premium image, The XT6's pricing placed it too close to luxury rivals without matching their performance or resale strength. By 2026, the XT6 will be gone from Cadillac's lineup. Its exit marks a major step in the brand's transition away from combustion engines and toward a fully electric future, leaving behind one of its most recent yet short-lived luxury SUVs. Number 2. Infiniti QX80. The Infiniti QX80, priced around $75,000 in 2025, is expected to be discontinued before 2026. The reason is simple: Infiniti's long-neglected lineup is finally being overhauled, and the QX80's massive V8 no longer fits with the brand's push toward more efficient and electrified vehicles. Annual U.S. sales have hovered around 15,000 units, a steep drop from its early years. The outdated 5.6-liter engine has become a liability under tightening emissions standards that take effect in 2026, making it too costly to re-engineer for compliance. Maintenance and depreciation costs are also high. Over a 5-year period, the QX80 can cost owners close to $100,000, including depreciation, insurance, and repairs. Nissan's premium division has already hinted at replacing the QX80 with an all-new electric flagship SUV that will share parts with the upcoming Nissan Armada EV. Production of the current gas model is set to wind down by late 2025, ending a 15-year run of one of Infiniti's longest-standing vehicles. By 2026, the QX80 will be gone, marking the end of Infiniti's V8 era as the company moves into a cleaner and more modern direction. Number 1. Toyota Land Cruiser. The Toyota Land Cruiser, priced around $70,000 in 2025, will be phased out by 2026 in several markets. The decision follows Toyota's plan to prioritize hybrid and electric SUVs while cutting down older gasoline-heavy models. The Land Cruiser's 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6, while powerful, doesn't align with Toyota's emission targets for the next decade. Sales have dropped sharply compared to its glory days. Even after its 2024 comeback, the Land Cruiser sold just under 20,000 units in the U.S., far below Toyota's expectations. With stricter CAFE and EPA standards arriving in 2026, the costs of keeping the engine compliant simply outweigh the returns. Another reason for its discontinuation is market overlap. The Sequoia, which offers similar capability with a hybrid powertrain, has effectively taken the Land Cruiser's spot in Toyota's lineup. Ownership costs have also been a sticking point. The 5-year total cost for a Land Cruiser, including depreciation, insurance, and maintenance, averages around $95,000. By 2026, the Land Cruiser will likely end its short-lived return to the U.S. market. Toyota will shift its focus to hybrid and electric off-roaders, leaving behind a nameplate that once defined toughness, but now can't keep up with changing regulations. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.